Warning: graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. As you may have seen in previous videos, we've had some excellent support from H&N Sport in the form of a load of pellets off them in various sizes and designs to test in our rifles to see what they liked. And if you've watched the videos, you'll know we've settled on a few different types that went well out of our rifles and had good terminal performance. They've asked again if they could do some more supporting by sending us some more pellets, and I said yes please, but I only want the Hunter Extremes in 177 for ratting, and I want a lot of them because there is 3 of us, and those bottom 4 packs are what they sent. Thank you for that, Tim. More eagle-eyed view will notice the top 2 stacks there. They're Barracudas in .20. I only asked for 1 tin. Never mind. Hopefully they'll go well at the Theoban Rapid in .20. I'll test them another day. My only concern is to take those bottom 4 stacks, dish them out amongst us all, and then get out ratting, which is what I intend to do in this video. If you haven't seen it before, this is my ratting rig of choice, the Theoban Rapid in 177. 17-shot magazine, big bottle. What's not to like about that? I've got it on my table in my kitchen, got the side door locked, and pellet catcher in the garden. I intend to do a little bit of pre-zeroing, ready for tonight's rat session. Right then, this is my Theoban Rapid in 177 caliber. I'm going to go ratting tonight, hopefully, possibly with Bro. That's my little target and the pellet catcher, set at 23 yards. I should be launching the Barracuda Hunter Extremes I like so much. Just checking my zero and making sure everything's okay before I go, as everybody should do before they go out hunting vermin. Right, I'm just checking zero on this. There's my little pellet catcher, 23 yards. See how well it goes. I have a little bit of a play with it, just make sure the pellets are striking where I'm aiming, and hopefully later on that will translate to a bit of success in the field. I'm going to launch 10 shots at this target. I already know they go well at this rifle. I just want to make sure the groupings are on. Just make sure that all 10 land on the same spot pretty much, ready for going out tonight. Sped this bit up. This is a process we go through off camera. Success in the field is often dictated by preparation. In fact, pretty much all the time. If you don't know where the rifle's shooting, you shouldn't be out. That's the result I just got. You would have counted 10 pellets being shot at the target, aimed at the centre. It's a UK 5p piece. Pretty much nicely covers all of them. At 23 yards. Can't say fairer than that. Maybe do a click left on the scope. But I'll leave it at that. I think it's perfectly fine as it is. Maybe 1 click left. Draw it back that way. They seem to be leaning a little bit right, perhaps, possibly. I've no doubt any rat I would have shot with that would have had a severe lead ache. Just to show what I mean by clicking it to the left, you can see the arrow goes that way to the right. So if I want to move the point of impact this way, which I don't, I'll turn it that way. But I want to turn it to the left, which is 1 click to the right on this scope. So that will send the crosshairs that way a fraction. Probably could have got away with 2, but we'll just do 1 for now. I'm pretty sure that'll do the business, but we'll find out later, won't we? Right, to answer a few of your comments asking about my setup for night vision shooting, I use a heavily modified NS50 from Night Sight. You can see it here perched on top of the rifle. There's a few modifications I'd like to point out. First of all, I've got one of their little ferrous clamps that goes on the cable, hoping to stop some of that nasty windy noise interference we get on some of the videos we do. You can see here my heavily modified camera module. I made a whole video on what I did to do that. I'd also like to point out this tube that was made bespoke for me by Tony Bolts. Thank you again, Tony. It's an excellent piece of kit, much better than the NS50's original one. As you'll note, holds it nice and steady and on centre. I made this little Jubilee clip just to tighten it on with a tiny thumb wheel. And there it is with my massive screen on the top because my old eyes can't pick it up anymore. And there it is in close-up. Distorts it a bit but doesn't affect the actual video recording at the end. And that's the mini DVR from RS Concepts, which I recorded all on. And there's a breakaway coaster, which Tony Bolts again gave me, which I use for zooming in and out quickly. If you don't know what a breakaway coaster is, here they are in their uncut form. You tighten them up with that little thumb wheel, and then you trim off the ends. And then you've got a nice little handy handle for turning things like your zoom. I've not supplied a link, but if you type in breakaway nylon coasters into eBay, I'm sure you'll see plenty if you decide to buy one. I got mine off Tony Bolts, who gave them to me for nothing, along with the tube he made in his own spare time, and he also gave me the little ferrous clamp to go on the cable. So thank you very much, Tony. It's much appreciated, mate. Needless to say, Tony's made all the bolts for all my rifles, and I've been using them for quite a few years now with no issues whatsoever. Excellent quality and excellent service. But that's not why we came here, is it? To look up kit? We want to go rat shooting. And here's Bro, out with his rifle. He's got an Air Arms S510 177 caliber, and he is launching exactly the same pellets as me this evening. This is the first rat session that I've had in ages. In fact, it's the last one I had with him before I made this video. There's a few about. We had the Facebook rat meet not long back. Still haven't had any footage of any of the guys, so I'm not sure if I'll end up making a video about that or not. So the numbers were heavily depleted to the tune of nearly 200. Well, was it over 200? I can't remember. There's still a few about, as you can see. Bro's knocking them down quite well. Hasn't really focused it brilliantly. But you don't need to see them in glorious definition. Might have some stuff on his glasses, I don't know. That's one thing about these NS50s. They're quite good for scanning with a head-up display type thing. And they're quite good if you've got to wear glasses like we do. Not sure if you got that one. I think he did. He's doing alright at the moment. That was that close he couldn't focus on it anyway, I don't think. Looking at where the crosshairs were, we took the shot. Put the crosshairs above its head. The pellet was still rising up to the crosshairs, it was that close. Through the wires. It looks like a bad shot at first, but it drops dead just there. I think he might have caught it just behind the head. The Barracuda Hunter's doing a brilliant job. They do hit hard, but we've already tested that and decided they were a hunting pellet we would recommend quite happily to anybody. If they go well out your rifle, we got ours for nothing. We discounted all the other ones that didn't work well and settled on the ones that do. Nothing wrong with that shot. Unless you dry fire without counting. It's loaded another mag, it's still there. Happy days. Another rat down. Quite a productive area, this one. You'll see a bit later on in a very similar shot. Oh, that one's on his toes, he doesn't like it. He's gone. I normally come to have a look. Now Bro's retired, he's been shooting this a lot more lately. He knows the areas that have been productive, despite the fact that there was a lot taken on the rat meet only about a month ago. He's kindly let me go on the more productive areas, as you'll see in a bit. He's going around the outskirts, mopping up ones he can find, and shooting them wherever he can. Straight through the front of the face there, straight on headshot. And as per usual, bit of a kick about. This is that shot I was talking about earlier on. Looks very similar to the last one. There's even a rat in the background. The rat in the background runs away straight away. I thought I had two copies, and you see this crosshair moves left on this one. It's almost an identical shot, but it is a separate shot. I had to compare it with the other one myself. They all count though. Through the wires. A lot of activity in the sheds. They've got to sit still before you can take a shot. Absolutely no point in sticking pellet holes in rats and them running around wounded. Apart from it isn't a very humane thing to do. I don't think it does any good for your rat shooting. I can only imagine a wounded rat running down a hole and panicking the rest of them. But that'll do, the quartering away shot, which happened to be the last rat Bro shoots on this evening. It'll be over to me next, shooting the rig I was zeroing at the beginning. Unfortunately for me, I've got a dodgy cable. It does rectify in a few shots' time. I can only apologise for the quality of this. Nothing wrong with the shooting. The Rapid and the Hunter Extreme's doing a brilliant job. There'll be a few more like this. Looks like it's had some sort of filter put on it, but it hasn't. It's just a bit of a dodgy connection. This upturned trailer was pretty lively early on in the evening. It's also an area that Bro told me to look at first. It's got to get them to stick their head up so you can take a shot. That'll do. Quite devastating little pellets. Quite capable on squirrels and corvids and the like as well. It's turned out to be a pretty good area. I kept coming back. Suicide ducks have decided they've had some counselling. They best sit in the shed out the way. Here we go. Down the side of the superhighway under a pallet. Nothing wrong with that. Straight in the head. There we go. Managed to correct the problem with the cable. Had a bit of a play with it. Quite happy with that shot. Quick look about. Needs to be a bit of a rat's nest around the back of there. Back to the upturned trailer again. Knocking them down pretty happily now. Just got to wait a second, see if any more turn up. Just check on the one you did shoot. Not conscious movement there. There we go, in the sheds, behind the wires. My little sigh of exasperation. I might have to shuffle sideways and have a little look in there in a minute. See if I can't just pick up one or two. There we go. Just need them to sit still. If they're moving around in there, sometimes it's a good idea to go and drop a bit of bait. There's already food in the area, so you know they're going to be in there. And also drinking the water. Trying to get it to stick its head up by making a noise. Doesn't work, it just runs off. We'll keep floating back to this place. Keep looking. There's a big hole at the back you see there through the wire they chewed. See there's an eye in it, but there's a wire smack in the way. And I managed to shoot the wire perfectly. Very annoying. Tried to shuffle sideways now to get a better shot. Nothing else comes back. You can't really get a shot into there. It's more like it. They sit out like that, that's good. There's no problem with it when they are sat out. Or even through a couple of sets of wire, as long as you've got a straight line. That's a bit of a dance about. There's nothing wrong with the shot. Helicopter tail with a set of eyes. The angle of the wire makes it nearly impossible to get a pellet through. If you square onto it, you can manage it. But not to worry. There's the upturned trailer. Quick look about there. Oh, here we go. Another eye sticking up. There's one at the back. They've dug holes under the gates so they can run under them. It's rather annoying, isn't it? Just got to try and wait for it to stick its head up so I can get a clean shot. Something's disturbed it there. That'll do. I think I can shoot it through the wire. And it moved its head. Unfortunately for me, I'd committed to the shot. All it's done now is run away unharmed, so I'm not too worried about that. It's the annoyance factor. They're dashing around all over the place. You can see how quickly I can zoom in and out with my little breakaway coaster on top. Not exactly sure what they use them for on rods. They work pretty well on rifles. There we go, I can see an eye just above that log. I'll call on my fast zoom. Much quicker than doing it with your fingers. I can't use it on the parallax, there's not enough room between the scope and the rifle barrel. I had to aim over the top of that one because it's so close. Half-grown rat. Felt nice and safe, but it wasn't. I hope to get more in that area. Didn't have much luck though. It's a spine shot on that one. Dead just behind that tree. My favourite shot of the night. Swinging rat. Got the crosshairs where its head's going to be, and wallop. Pleased with that. Timed it just nicely. Shot through the wires. All the other rats in the area ran away. I think that might be a water drinker rather than the food hopper. Not sure, never mind. When I eat a lot of dry food, water very often is a good attractant. Especially in the summer months. There's a head sticking up. And I shot another wire. I don't normally have this problem with wires. It's usually quite easy to thread them through. I shot a few tonight. If you line it up right, they should go through. It's only a 4.5mm pellet, 177. And those gaps considerably bigger. Nothing wrong with that shot though. The shed seemed to be the hot spots at the moment. It'd be nice if a few more of them come outside. There's the upturned trailer again. Always scan around. I'm just twisting all the way around now to check on the rubbish pile near the fire. Then back again. There we go. I was a bit slow there. It's a bit uneven under the feet, the ground. It's a bit difficult to line up sometimes. There we go, here's another one. 2 sets of wire this time. Quite still. Question is, will it sit still long enough with enough head on show to take a shot? Shooting it in the rump isn't a guaranteed kill, so I'm not going to do it. You can see an ear there. It's quite unhurried, isn't it? Is it going to give me a shot? A little laugh as it didn't. This one, I wasn't even looking at the screen, believe it or not. I just suddenly noticed it's there. I was looking at someone else. I was too slow on this rat, trying to focus it. I should have just shot it like Bro does. Very annoying. You see I've got my cable sorted out now and the upgraded camera doing a much better job filming. And that's a reflection of 2 rats under that pallet, believe it or not. You just make out their ears, they're upside down otherwise. I know they're there. I wouldn't have normally spotted them. This is an area Could be quite useful by the look of it. You can see them having a drink. Probably had their fill of all that dry pellet food. And now they're thirsty. Often a good combination. Oh, too slow. This area bears some looking at. I've been away and come back again. See the eyes reflected in the water again. It's dead still. It's acting like a mirror. You can see that one's having a little drink. That's not a headshot I would take on. Anywhere forward of the eyes, that's not a clean kill. I guarantee you it won't roll over, it'll run off. And we don't want that, even though it is a rat. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a shuffle now. I've left this bit in, I'd normally cut it out. I've picked the rifle up and I've shuffled round. I'm a bit disoriented now. I'm not quite sure where that IBC with the pallet under it is. So I'm scanning around looking. I spotted an eye. I don't care which rat I shoot first. There's my pallet. They seem to have disappeared in my time away. I see some eyes flickering over there. They get a hole and they chew into it. Yep, quick check. That one's moved. I can see the ear, I can see the eye. That is definitely a rat and not a chicken. So I shoot it. That is one I didn't actually retrieve thinking about it. It's in the shed. Be careful shooting into sheds. That's where the livestock are. And that's the sort of damage they do. They get a hole and you can see the ratties have had a gnaw on it. Anyway, enough of that. Here's another shed with the tail just gone in. I've seen the tail. I'm trying to zoom in and focus to get a better look. I can see something just there, a dark splodge. I'm looking at it and I think it's a chicken. Just illustrates the point. Just because I saw the tail go in there doesn't necessarily mean what I see next is going to be the rat. That's probably livestock, so I should be careful. So I linger there a second or two, just in case Mr. Ratty sticks his head out. I'm sure they must have some sort of sixth sense for when they're being watched. They don't want to come out into view. Pretty much give up now. It's not going to come out. Then I'll turn the camera straight back on again as it sticks its head out. It's pretty much sod's law really. They're still about. This one was rather foolish and sat out in plain view. I knock him over just nice. You can see how quickly I can zoom with that breakaway coaster. Very useful. I like to zoom in to place my shots better. I know some people don't, that's just the way I shoot. Here's another one. Daft enough to sit out. Good side-on headshot. The pellet's gone straight through. I had a comment the other day. Thought the pellets just bounce against the head and knock a hole in the head of squirrels, believe it or not. I've yet to see a pellet bounce off a rabbit or rat's head. The only way I could see it happen is if you skim the top of their head. Every time I've seen them being hit directly on the bonds, it's either gone in and stayed in the body or it's gone straight through. Never mind, there's plenty of power in these rifles. They're perfectly suited for this type of thing. That one didn't keep his head still long enough. Looks like a one-eyed rat. I'm not sure if they walk around with one eye closed, to be honest with you, or whether they'd been damaged by fighting with other rats. They do squabble a lot. When we get there and we do our zero check, we tend to hover by the cars having a cup of tea and wait till they hear the squabbling noises and the squeaks and we know they're on the move. And then we start patrolling where we've agreed. Bro will go one way, I'll go another. We know where each other's going to be, so we don't fire in that direction. Here we go, there's another one out drinking. Good wallop there as I hit him in the top of the head. He's having a bit of a mud bath. There's that upturned trailer. That's what I was scoping out when I spotted him. I might actually fill that little puddle in where they dip down to drink and I can't see, or move it around to give me a better shot. There we go, there's one having a drink. Right between the shoulder blades. I don't mind them type of body shots. Dropped him clean. Just hoping another one's going to turn up. Onto the sheds, there's that hole again. Difficult spot to shoot this. I'll have to put some sort of bait on the edge of that hole or something and get them to stick their head in the air. I never really got any shots off in this place properly. My main success came outside in certain areas. Just got to wait for this one to stick his head up if possible. Usually look for an eye or an ear to give me a shot. And I can see the ear there. I know where the head is. It's not rocket science really. I already knew it was a rat, nothing else. It's a very selective form of pest control. A bit of helicopter tail tells the story. Another set of ears. I'm hoping he's going to stick his head up any second. I'll have to fill in some of these gaps just so they poke their head up. A bit quicker on the shot there. As soon as he stuck his head up, I stuck a pellet in it. Quite unwell now. Quite pleased with this session. Like I said before, it's good of Bro to let me come and shoot the more active areas that he knew of. I haven't been out for ages. That's just the way life goes, I'm afraid. Hopefully now I'll get back on it a bit better. Now the darker nights have come in, the clocks have gone back as I speak. This weekend gone. Actually, it was last weekend. I do forget sometimes. Down the side of the superhighway shed. Pellet's gone straight through that head. Another dead rat. Quick shuffle sideways. I haven't gone quite far enough over to see the pellets properly. These hedgerows are absolutely filled with rat holes. This is the last shot of the night, and that was a clean kill. Dead in the grass, I retrieved that one. Haven't had a bad time by the look of it. There's a few shots I took of the ones by the pallets. I dragged out. There's Bro's bucket on the left and mine on the right. Variety of rat sizes. We always use the grabbers to pick them up. And make sure we wash our hands with alcohol wash at the end. And that's Bro's pile on the left and mine on the right. These rats are going to get a lot more pressure from us this year as winter draws in. Especially now Bro's retired. We're going to get out and do a lot more double sessions like this. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.